So I dare you to be shameless. I dare you to be bold. I dare you to unapologetically embody the version of you who has all your needs met. For me personally, one thing that I felt so energetically apologetic for was my sexual needs. And even though I'm not really supposed to talk about this on this YouTube channel, but not accepting myself for being sexually expressive actually impacted every area of my life and how I do everything. And you may be thinking, how does your sexual energy correlate to unapologetic confidence? Well, for the last 8 to 9 years, what I didn't know about myself was that I'm sexually expressive and I have certain sexual needs because I was raised in a way where everything was strict and I didn't get to explore myself. But I've always been that type of girl who likes dressing up, and I always liked showing a bit of skin and being provocative, and not for male gaze, but it just feels satisfying to be expressive and stylish. But what would happen is that I would feel shameful for being this version of me because, at least in Thai society, if you are high class, you have to dress conservatively, you have to be classy, and you gotta, wear a blouse and a long skirt. And you shouldn't really show too much skin, otherwise you'll be categorized as people who are not as high class. And it was so important for me to maintain my family's image growing up. So I never had the opportunity to buy the kind of clothes I like to wear because I'll be told that it looks cheap on you. When I suppress all of this part of me that is naturally expressive and sexually expressive, therefore when I try to film videos, when I go to job interviews, when I express myself, talk about myself, introduce myself, it comes with this apologetic energy. And even though people can't exactly pinpoint why it feels off, but you can feel that there's a part of her that doesn't feel right when you are apologetic about who you are. So therefore, unapologetic confidence is not just about repetition and growth mindset, but it's about overcoming the shame of being exactly who you are. As a woman, especially in Thai culture, it is seen as wrong to be very sexually expressive. Maybe not now, but in the past, it's wrong to want to wear short shorts and singlets and crop tops and not be shamed by adults around you. In my society, it was so important how my family's image was maintained, and I really had to be that daughter who is a good girl and she's wearing, classic things. In other words, wearing mundane and boring things. And so when you have this belief ingrained inside of you that I can't be sexually expressive, and even when I started having boyfriends and people that I was seeing, I was actually always wanting a certain sexual experience and it wasn't met. I don't even know why back then it wasn't met, but now I understand that it was because I was apologetic in claiming the things that I wanted, especially out of a relationship. In relationships, people associate good intimacy with what they see in Pornhub, but that doesn't cut it for me. It's not about the physical act. It's about understanding each other, being emotionally in tune, being in sync, harmonizing together, growing together. So then when you do the physical act, it's wholesome. But when there's a disconnect and you've manifested people who force you to dim your power and settle for less, by the time you come and do the physical act, it just doesn't connect at all emotionally. So therefore, it doesn't feel good either way. And even if I met people that could give me the satisfying physical experience, but then the emotion part of it wouldn't be there either. And this whole fragmented manifestation where you kind of have one thing, but you don't have the other, is because you're apologetic about your inherent self. You're apologetic that you do like luxury experiences. You're apologetic that you want to be rich. You're apologetic that you want to be beautiful. You're apologetic that you want to be sexy. And you're even apologetic that you don't want to work too hard for success. Because in fact, hard work alone, it doesn't lead to success. But when you see everyone around you chopping vegetables, washing the dishes, stir frying pad see ew, pad thai in the wok in the kitchen for years, for decades in fact. And then when you see people that are working in other Thai restaurants and they're doing even harder jobs than your parents did as the owner, then you start to feel like it's wrong for me to want to just make money by being beautiful. And no, not in a kind of way where you do OnlyFans, not that kind of beautiful. But I'm talking about embracing your true power, speaking your truth and getting paid for it. And I felt shameful for decades that this is what I want out of life. I don't believe in getting a PhD and staying broke. I don't believe in qualifying myself and not having the life that I want. Qualified in society standards. I just want to have the life that I want. I don't care if I have an MBA or not. I just want to live the life that I want. And I felt so apologetic for wanting these things. So you've got to ask yourself very, very deep down, what are some core needs that you haven't met yet within yourself? Is that I want a satisfying sex life? Can you actually admit this to yourself that, yes, this is what I want? And when somebody that doesn't meet you there comes in, you can be honest with yourself that it isn't it. And not brushing it off and being like, but other components are okay already, so it's fine. I don't need a good sex life. Can you be honest with yourself that, no, this job is not good enough for me. I don't like where I am right now. I don't mind it, yes, because I'm so good at settling, but this is not what I want. Can you admit it to yourself? Because once you admit it, that's when you start to be more unapologetic about what you want. When you are apologetic, you start lying to yourself that, yeah, no, it's fine, everything's fine. No, this shirt is fine. It doesn't fit me well, but it's fine. This lifestyle is fine. I don't really like it. I'm not passionate about it, but it's fine. And I'll tell you what, the reason why I could swim up till this day is because I knew that other swimming pools in the area doesn't cut it for me. The environment doesn't help my muscles get stronger. And I had to admit to myself that if it's not this pool, then I can't do it. So I physically take myself to that ocean pool where the waves are unstable, where the environment is uplifting, where everything is abundance. Even though it's not perfect, but it makes me feel inspired. And I had to release the shame that this is what I like. When everyone around me would be like, but then why don't you just go to a local pool? Why don't you just go here and buy a house here in the area near where you grew up? Like, what the fuck? But then I used to feel apologetic that this is what I want. But the minute I was like, I'm taking myself to swim where I want to swim unapologetically, that is why my muscles strengthened so much to the point where till this day, I still swim there in the mornings. And as a result of that, every area of my life started improving because when you want something, you must not be apologetic about it because you have the right to want it. You deserve to want it, unless the things that you want is harming to other people. But if the things that you want don't harm other people, besides making them feel uncomfortable, besides the fact that you'll come off as unrelatable, then it's okay to want it. You want a sexy body? No, it's not superficial. You want to live an easy, peaceful lifestyle where you still work, you still invest hour and energy into it, but it's not suffering hard labor. Do you feel shameful for wanting it? Because everyone around you is like, hard work is noble and suffering for it is noble. But then when you say, no, it's not noble and I deserve to rest in my feminine energy, sit in my throne and still get paid for it, do you feel like, damn it, I'm not being relatable anymore? This is the very key bridge that you have to cross. When you are unapologetic about your core identity and what she wants, and you give yourself the things that you want, that is when the things that you desire actually come to you quite effortlessly. For me, I even felt shameful that I only like a guy of certain characteristics, and it's superficial. It's got to do with genetics, and people might even call me racist. People might even call me discrimination for not ever considering a certain type of guy because of how he looks. Genetics, pretty much. And I used to feel so shameful that, am I just too superficial now for just wanting this kind of man only as a life partner? As if other people don't have types too. And I accept that some men will never like Asian girls. So why is it that you have to feel shameful for having a specific type? Who in this world truly finds attraction from just the heart and not the physical appearance first? How many people on this planet can say, I really fell in love because I saw their heart first and not how they look first? Of course, the universe is mental and we see everything with mind sight and feeling intuition, but let's be honest. When you see an attractive person, that's why you want them. Part of it is physical attraction. And if you feel apologetic about the type of man that you want, and you feel like, no, I'm being racist, I'm being discriminating, I'm not giving people chances, I'm being a snob, I'm wanting way too much out of my league, then again, you will start manifesting experiences where you have to settle constantly. You won't feel inspired by the man that you're with. You won't feel that soulful connection with the man that you're with because you're apologetic about what you want out of your dating life. So therefore, I'm really going to encourage you to audit where you feel apologetic. I feel apologetic because I want a highly emotionally intelligent man who is wealthy, has a rich mindset, is fit like me, likes to swim like me, tall, handsome. Okay, if he's not tall, then handsome. But he has to be fit like me. He has to X, Y, Z. And then you feel like, no, but that's too much. But I'm not even that yet. So then you become her. If you're asking a lot from a man, then you must become everything that you ask for from a man. Well, okay, for my height, I can't grow taller than this, but everything else, the characteristics behind it, I can always use the time that he's not here to work on myself to become that, so I can be vibrationally aligned to attract that kind of relationship. When you say, I want more than just a steady 9-to-5 job that pays me less than 6 figures, and if I were to earn 6 figures, I have to trade more labor for it and it's not worth it. I want more than that. If you feel deep down that, yeah, I want more than what my manager has. I don't want to be like my manager. I don't want to be like that manager's manager. I want to have my own life. Don't shame yourself for it and don't put it in the back of the cabinet. Actually start working on your internal spirit. Work on your spirit and make yourself feel deserving of having it. Whether it's by working out. Instead of you watching Korean drama and going on Facebook and Instagram and scrolling for half an hour, you can then segment maybe 20 minutes of that time to go and work on your fitness, to make yourself feel stronger, so that you feel deserving of that promotion, of that career opportunity. For some reason, every single time I worked on my fitness, I felt more deserving of things that I want. So let's just say affirmations alone don't work for you, and rewiring your subconscious doesn't really work by you just sitting down there to find peace. Perhaps you can combine this with lifting weights, swimming, going to the gym, and doing the things you say you're going to do because you want to do them. All of these things is like baking a cake. If you want to get that perfect batter, you must get the ingredients right. And a part of you feeling unapologetically confident is you delivering promises to yourself that besides you just meditating and affirming for the life that you want, if you also work on your fitness and get physically stronger, then everything else is going to line up easier. When you have a fit body, you feel confident in what you wear and you feel confident in your posture and how you speak. When that confidence shows, you feel like you can be authentic more because you like your frame, you feel fit, you feel active. So then when you go and talk to your hiring manager, when you potentially get offered podcast gigs and collaboration, you feel ready for it. And that is how you do it unapologetically. Sometimes it's so simple as you just doing some push-ups, along with you meditating, along with you rewiring your subconscious. Sometimes you may think that I have to robotically affirm for the life that I want, but you've got to live it too. And if that means traveling 2 hours to go to the beach to do your swims, then you do it for you. Because the more you do it, and you don't tell anyone else whether you do it, you feel unapologetic. You feel like, damn, I'm creating this life rhythm out of nothing. But now my life has momentum because I created it from scratch. I say I'm going to swim, so I swim in winter. I say I'm going to still stay fit in winter, so I do those coaster walks in winter through the cold. I say that I'm a strong person, so I condition myself to sit for 4 minutes in ice bath, 8 degrees water. And that's fine. These supporting actions, along with your meditations, your SATs, your affirmations, when you combine them all together, including deep stretch, breath work, all these things, and you do it the right way that works for you, nobody can shatter your identity anymore. Now when you're like, okay, I want this guy, this quality, you can confidently claim it because you are her. You have the same quality as the guy that you want. But when you don't work on yourself and you feel apologetic, then you'll perpetually feel apologetic that I want this type of guy, but you're not becoming that. Or I want this kind of career, but you're not becoming that. So unapologetic confidence means that you release the shame of wanting that thing. But then in the meantime, when that thing hasn't arrived, you want to raise yourself internally every day, little bit by bit, 1% each day to get a bit stronger, get a bit more resilient, be more detached, be more accepting of yourself, and be more calm amidst chaos outside of you. And the more you do that repeatedly, that is when now everything just works in your favor. So therefore, go for it. The things that you want, unapologetically do it. Don't shame yourself for wanting it. Instead, work on becoming vibrationally aligned. Work on becoming the match to the things that you want. The relationship, the career, the finance, the body, the everything. You can always compound it 1% each day. It really works. In the short term, you might not see a big difference, but I guarantee you after 60 days of that compounded action, you're just going to be a new person because your mind, your attention, your alignment is on that reality. Every cell of your body, your attention, your mind, your emotion, your conviction, your certainty is already in that reality. So stay in that reality and don't come down to the people around you that say you can't have it. You can have it. You can really have it. And I believe in you.